The tale starts with a university student called Richie who had trouble paying for his classes and daily costs. To make money, he did promotional work for internet betting websites, basically advertising various gambling platforms to earn commissions. However, because of this work, one of his university teachers became addicted to betting and lost significant amounts of money. Furious, the teacher insisted that Richie pay back what he lost. But Richie answered without emotion, "Professor, I only advertise the website. What you lose or gain is not my problem." The following day, Richie met with the dean, who explained that the university would not accept anyone advertising gambling while representing the school and told him to quit right away. Richie argued, "But Dean, how am I supposed to pay my tuition?" The dean simply answered, "That is not something we can help with. Just end the gambling advertisements." Annoyed and with no options, Richie decided to gamble himself, spending all the money he had saved. Initially, things looked good. He won multiple times. But then, his fortune completely reversed. Every decision failed and he lost it all. That is when he understood something was not right. It seemed like someone had manipulated the system against him. Wanting answers, Richie chose to inform the website's owner. He asked his father, Harry, a man who had lived most of his years in betting houses. Harry explained that Ivan had relocated his business to Costa Rica since it was simpler to operate gambling companies there. With everything gone, Richie traveled to Costa Rica. Right after leaving the airport, he met a man named Pete, someone whose betting website Richie had previously promoted. Pete and his associate Crossan knew him right away and got him a hotel room. There, Richie discovered that a large gambling gathering was taking place that same evening, and he was certain Ivan would be present. At the gathering, Richie noticed a woman named Rebecca who was discussing Ivan with someone. Understanding she might connect him to the person he needed, Richie went to her and requested to see Ivan. Rebecca said yes and brought him directly to him. Richie explained to Ivan that someone had broken into his gambling website, even providing him with some credentials and evidence. Ivan paid attention silently and then just responded, "Good evening," sending him away for now. But the following morning, Ivan contacted Richie again. He stated, "First, I appreciate you finding that hacker. But I should tell you, he was not a hacker. He is one of our own employees. You cannot defeat him. The system always prevails." After hearing this, Richie objected. "Listen, I have put your 17,000 back in your account, and seeing your abilities and intelligence, I would like you to join me. You will make a 7-figure income and enjoy a luxurious lifestyle." It was an offer too good to refuse. Richie said yes immediately. And for the following months, he lived a life of riches, luxury, and achievement. But even with everything, something still seemed absent. Not his father, but Rebecca, Ivan's partner. From the first moment he met her, Richie had feelings for her. Though he could not act on them. After all, she was with the boss. During this time, Ivan had a meeting with a local authority named Chunga to give their usual monthly bribe payment, making sure his business continued without problems. But this meeting, Chunga wanted a 40% increase in the payment. Ivan looked concerned and questioned, 4%? What is the reason? To which Chunga confidently answered, "For the reason that you are protected here in Costa Rica." Ivan did not disagree further, and the discussion concluded there. That night at a celebration, Richie ran into Rebecca again. She had been observing him at the game tables and could not help feeling impressed by his cleverness and self-assurance. But Ivan had already seen Richie's increasing friendship with Rebecca. He understood what was developing busy. Ivan spoke to him privately and stated, "I have a special task for you. There is an American gambler called Shaky. I need you to persuade him to become part of our group no matter what is required. If he joins us, he can help grow our client numbers by 10%, which means enormous earnings for both of us." Richie quickly agreed and went to find Shaky the next day. But before he could even approach him correctly, a group of men seized him and pushed him into a vehicle. However, these were not regular criminals. They were secret FBI officers. One of them, Agent Black, explained, "Calm down, son. You are not who we want. Ivan is. The issue is, we cannot arrest him here in Costa Rica because of legal boundaries. That is why you are important. Ivan is not just operating illegal gambling. He is also abusing client information. We need someone near to him. Help us stop him." Richie acted like he agreed, responding, Okay, I will assist." And then left immediately, going straight back to Ivan. There, he anxiously informed him, "The FBI is targeting us." But Ivan just laughed, acting like it was funny. "FBI, do not make me amused. They cannot reach us here in Costa Rica. Stay focused on your assignment." Get that American gambler working with us. That is what is important. So Richie followed through. He found Shaky again and attempted persuading him to explaining he did not want to abandon his expecting wife. Richie, though, was stressed to produce outcomes. The next day, when he saw Shaky again, he chose to use bad tactics. He got some marijuana for Shaky, thinking he would become more relaxed. And while Shaky was intoxicated and not paying attention, Richie quietly filmed a damaging video of him. Afterward, he presented Shaky the video and stated, "Now, will you work with us?" Trapped and without choices, Shaky surrendered and gave over a useful information file that could increase Ivan's client base by 10%. Ivan was excited when he reviewed the results. So excited, in reality, that he gave Richie a large amount of cash to celebrate. But Ivan had no idea what type of celebration Richie planned, because that evening Richie celebrated with none other than Rebecca, Ivan's own partner. Their supposed celebration quickly became intense. It was obvious Rebecca had feelings for Richie, too. And during their private talk, she admitted, I could escape Ivan. But if I try, he will never allow me to survive." Still, her emotions for Richie were genuine, which clarified why she had been so attracted to him recently. The following morning, Richie came back home from the crazy night to discover Pete and Crossan in a serious disagreement. Pete had just been stopped and interrogated by Agent Black. "I am quitting this business permanently," Pete yelled. Richie attempted calming him, responding, "Relax. It is just an intimidation method. Nothing major." But Pete would not listen. He gathered his things and went to his hometown, abandoning the operation. A short time later, Ivan phoned Richie with another assignment. "There is a briefcase filled with money in the storage. Bring it to Chunga. It is time to deliver our monthly payment." Richie followed orders and traveled to Chunga's location, where the man was relaxing with his typical indulgences. Richie gave him the briefcase, but after checking the money, Chunga's expression became angry. Ivan had not included the additional amount he required before. Angry, Chunga walked outside and commanded his man to assault Richie. "Go inform your boss," he said angrily, "that if he ever delivers incomplete payment again, I will not be so kind." Hurt and bleeding, Richie went back to Ivan, asking, "What is happening? Why did you not include the full payment?" Ivan just shrugged and responded casually, "So what? These situations occur in our type of work. You are earning this much money. Can you not handle some hits?" That was the final straw for Richie. Angry and embarrassed, he chose to abandon everything and went back to the United States. But as soon as he arrived at the airport, the police detained him. They looked through his bag, and to his surprise, Agent Black showed up once more. He told Richie, "You are fortunate I arrived first. I can erase this, but in exchange, you will assist us in stopping Ivan." Trapped, beaten, and with no escape, Richie finally said yes. And from that point forward, he officially turned into an informant for the FBI. A man now stuck between two dangerous situations. When Richie got back to his apartment, Crossan was there waiting for him with something surprising. He had found important information buried deep in Ivan's gambling records. As things turned out, Ivan had been utilizing his clients' accounts to quietly change his illegal money into legal money, cleaning millions right under the law's attention. Because of this smart strategy, nobody could ever trace his actual earnings. Crossan attempted explaining everything thoroughly, but before they could investigate further, Ivan suddenly phoned Richie and ordered him to his office. When Richie showed up, Ivan displayed him security footage from a casino. Footage that showed Richie's father, Harry, being discovered using counterfeit money. The casino had charged Harry $87,000, but Ivan had secretly paid that charge and protected his life. Richie understood the evil purpose behind this. Ivan had completed it not from generosity, but to guarantee Richie remained under his power. Disturbed, Richie quickly told him, "Son, quit this gambling work. Return to university before you destroy your life." But Richie, committed to fixing everything, assured, "Dad, believe me, I will correct it soon." From that moment forward, Richie started planning his next action. He began by quietly taking a small portion of money from the cash-filled briefcases that were being delivered as monthly bribes to Costa Rican authorities. Around the same period, Crossan contacted him again, his voice shaking. "Richie, I discovered something even larger. Another huge scam hidden in Ivan's records." But when Richie hurried to Crossan's house, it was too late. The place was quiet. Crossan was missing, probably murdered on Ivan's instructions. While Richie stood in disbelief, Rebecca came. Furious, he yelled at her, holding her responsible for everything since she was still Ivan's partner. But Rebecca revealed the reality. Ivan was planning to escape Costa Rica soon, putting all his criminal operations blamed on Richie. That information changed everything. Richie requested her assistance, and Rebecca, now completely on his team, said yes. The very next day, Richie started bribing local authorities himself, attempting to change the situation in his benefit. But soon, he saw a questionable car following. Understanding he was being tracked, he attempted to escape only to learn that it was Agent Black again. The officer has real evidence against Ivan. Richie responded sharply. And you did not safeguard anyone. Not Crossan. Not my father. You allowed Ivan to ruin lives. Black breathed deeply and confessed, you are correct. But now the only method to resolve this is to complete it. Get the evidence we require before he vanishes permanently. Committed, Richie forced entry into Crossan's room and examined everything. Finally, he located a concealed flash drive. Connecting it to a laptop, his greatest worries were validated. The files held Ivan's complete money-cleaning network. Ivan had been utilizing client accounts for criminal transactions, and every single one was registered under Richie's name. The entire operation had been created to frame him. Understanding the trap, Richie quickly took action. The next day, Ivan and Rebecca were getting ready to leave Costa Rica. But Richie had already gotten away with his father. Then came the most shocking turn. When Ivan's airplane arrived, he walked out confidently only to stop in shock. Richie was already standing there waiting for him. Smiling confidently, Richie stated, "Welcome to America, Ivan. You are not in Costa Rica now. You are in the United States where the FBI has complete power." Right then, FBI officers surrounded Ivan and arrested him immediately. As Agent Black turned toward Richie, ready to arrest him, as well. Richie had already disappeared, escaping with Rebecca before anyone could respond. Inside were all the documents and evidence against Ivan sent by Richie himself. With that, Ivan's empire fell apart and he was given a prison sentence. Meanwhile, Richie and Rebecca vanished into another nation, putting their dark history behind. And with that, this intense tale finally reaches an end. What did you think of the surprising ending? Did you predict that final turn, or did it completely surprise you? I would really like to know your thoughts. Write your opinion in the comments below. Also, share with me how you felt about the story's suspense, the people, and that unexpected revenge. Your comments really help decide what type of stories come next. I will return soon with another dark and exciting story that will keep you interested until the end. Until then, stay curious and stay brave. Please subscribe and turn on notifications so that you can watch more videos like this.